Hi, I'm Kim,
And I'm Pancho,
and this is Now That You See It,
the show about the ideas hiding in plain sight,
the patterns underneath the patterns.
the stuff that quietly runs your life,
These are the conversations you can't stop thinking about
and that you can't wait to send to a friend.
because once you see it,
You can't unsee it.
Okay, now that you see it, fans, welcome to Punchy O'Clock. We're gonna do a shortisode. This is our first our first time.
Here we go.
We go deep, we go long, we go hour and 15. Today we're gonna go 15 or under with five of the worst things you can say to somebody when they share a challenge, and it will not be just five. There will be some bonus ones from Pancho at the end. But I'm personally so excited for this to experiment with the format of like quick and dirty. Let's get it done.
Totally. Yep.
How you
Yep.
doing,
Let's
Pancho?
do it. Oh man, my world is kind of turned up. It's like
Yeah.
they took the marble jar that is my world and they shook it and then they turned it upside down and it's all spilling out. So you are definitely more prepared for this episode than I am today. I'm excited to hear what you're bringing to the table. And I think it could be kind of cool for me to just take on a more like reactive, on the fly, reflective perspective to, your list of the five things that are the worst things to say to somebody when they're going through a rough patch. And if there's anything else that we don't cover, I've already got some thoughts on one. So I'm happy to add them at the end.
Cool. Well, now that you've shared a challenge, I'm going to tell
Mhm.
you five things I'm not going to say to you. So
Yeah.
I will say that there is somewhat no particular order to this because I really do think there's one though, the last one I'll share, I have really complicated feelings with, and I would not put it at the top of my list. But I
Uh,
know you also have strong feelings about, and I really can't wait to talk about the last one.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So my number one that like if I am like this happened and you say this to me, I might punch you in the face. Like I really might, really might. It could be worse. This is how it could be worse. At least it's not. So if I'm like this thing happened, so you sharing with me like, yeah, no, this is like a marble jar shakeup moment. I am disorganized, disordered, and dysregulated. And I'm like, well, at least it's not da da da. Like, fuck off, man. That is top of my list of the worst things you could say. I think like to me after these moments, like, and these are all assuming best intentions, right? Like, this is not, you're a bad actor. This is all of us being human. We all have these moments, but
Sure.
generally, if you're trying to, if somebody's sharing something hard with you, they have a loss. They have a hard moment in their life. They have like a challenge at their job. They have a challenge with their relationships or their kids. Responding with, it could be worse feels like one of the least empathetic, least validating. Let's put the spotlight back on either me or just like something else and, invalidating experiences you can offer. So that's my
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Also, it doesn't fucking mean anything. Like, it could always be worse. Like, what
It
does
could
that
always
even
be worse.
mean? When you're saying that to somebody, like, intellectually, it's just empty,
Yeah.
Like, what, like, yeah, so what? Like, what is that?
And you
What does that
don't
mean
know. That's your
about, like,
opinion. Like, you don't know the
yeah, I
universe
mean,
in that way.
totally. I mean, I feel like but like, things could hypothetically always be worse. Okay, so what? Like
It's bad now.
you've added
I don't like
no
this.
value to the
I
conversation.
know.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
I'm realizing like we probably have another short or so coming for like top five things you can say. But this is
yeah.
just gonna be this side.
Yeah, we
So
could flip it at the end.
wait for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
my second one is oh yeah,
hold
go
on
ahead.
before we jump on.
okay, so
All right.
speaking of like taking this is my next one, taking like all the energy from the person and invalidating. My number two is here's my story. Oh, that's your bad story? Well, here's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Oppression Olympics, Challenge Olympics. Nah, nah.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Yeah.
It's like it like I get, and also I will say, I really understand that a lot of people bond through like, oh, like this is my story. Like here we are together
Mhm,
doing this thing. Like this is how I
mhm.
relate to you. I am demonstrating relatedness by sharing like this has happened to me. You are not alone. However, for most people in most situations, they just opened up and shared something hard. And responding with, well, here's my story, takes away from the moment of like, this is an opportunity to connect and support. I think people feel really complicated ways about this one though. And I think especially, I will say, I have understood and read from like neurodivergent perspective, there is an impulse sometimes to like connect through shared experience. And like, this is how I connect. So I have understood that to be true. So this one might be a hot take and kind of controversial. I don't know, what's your take on it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's nuanced. Yeah.
Oh my God. Please keep that in. Don't edit that out of the recording.
Do you almost just eat it? If you're not watching the video, Kim got like 2 inches shorter all of a sudden and almost fell over backwards.
My desk is on rollers and I'm standing on a balance board, and those things didn't go together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So the nuance for me is, I think it can help somebody understand, or it can help somebody to know that you understand what they're going through because you've gone through something similar, but that's not the point.
I just think there's a time and a place. Like, wait
Yeah,
to share.
totally. Yeah. So in coaching, when somebody tells me like, oh yeah, I burnt out of a job and I was burnt out, but trying to make it work. And then I got laid off because my company was kind of a dumpster fire in general. Um, I'll say, oh yeah, I totally know what that's like. I've been there. That can be really rough. Tell me more about it. Right. So it's
Yes.
not giving them my entire story, but I am still saying, "Oh, I can relate to this. I know what that's like." So there's kind of a middle ground to be found if you do want to let them know that you understand what they're going through,
Yeah. Yeah.
without essentially taking over the conversation.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
like they're telling you a thing that's important. Don't fucking just like put them on mute and then start telling them your life story, because that's not the point. That's not what they were trying to get out of the whole thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the third one I'm going to share is sort of in the spirit of like, to the extent conversations are like balls thrown back and forth, and it's some conversations you keep the ball for a long time
Yeah.
on each side. This is one of those conversations where you keep the ball for a long time. Like the focus is on the person who's sharing for a little while. The next
Yeah.
one, like my top, both pet peeves and also just for a lot of people, I think what doesn't work for them is when they share and you give advice. So you shared a challenge. Have you tried this? You should that. Like my friend did this. Can you order that on Amazon? No, because that's again like the ball is coming back to you in that moment. I was just talking to somebody about an issue, and I love this question. I was like, "Can I just talk to you about da da da?" And I like launched into it. And here's my challenge. And they responded with, "Okay, do you want a vent, or do you want feedback?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Thank you. I want feedback. I do want feedback. I want here's what I'm observing. Not necessarily you should, but I do want that." But
Yeah.
generally, there's a moment where you ask that question, as opposed
Mhm.
to responding immediately with, "Here's what I would do," or "Here's what I
Mhm.
think you should do." Then it's like all about you and
Yeah.
your subjective advice on this topic.
Yeah.
This one also, like, I don't know if you, I don't know if you get into this, but I've heard there's a gender dynamic here with the like
Oh,
when,
totally.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, what it is but when somebody gives you a challenge and you immediately go to problem solving, it's a boundaries problem.
Yeah.
You are uncomfortable with the fact that they have a problem and you want to make that discomfort go away. So you're like, here, let me reach in there, get up to my elbows, and try to fix your problem for you.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily your job or what they want you to do. So I've always like, I don't need you to solve my problem. I just need you to listen. That was that was, I always kind of struggled with that until I realized it's a boundaries thing.
Hmm.
It's a control thing.
Yeah.
And it comes from a place of being emotionally incapable of sitting with the discomfort that somebody you really care about has a problem. and that problem is currently unresolved,
Yes.
right? So it takes strength, it takes resolution, it takes self-awareness to not just jump to that and to instead kind of take like a step back and get a sense of what they need.
Yeah.
So from a male identifying person's perspective, however you want to say it, um, this is an opportunity for you to actually grow your capability by not just jumping to problem solving right away. Makes you
I
more
struggled with this
capable,
one.
makes
Yeah,
you more
there's more.
resilient, makes you more, just like, yeah, just like on an emotional wavelength that makes you stronger.
Yeah.
The other thing that
Mhm.
I'll say really quickly on this one is the moment I explain my problem to somebody and they start giving me solutions, like they just start rattling them off. One, I'm like, you're not my parent. Like, stop telling me what to do. So there's like like an agency thing there. And two, it insults my intelligence. Like, I've already thought of all that stuff. I'm not dumb. So, like, don't insult my intelligence
Totally.
by not asking me what I've already tried before you just start rattling off like the stupid, most basic and obvious solutions. Like, yeah, I tried that. So instead, ask me what I've tried, and then if you have ideas that I haven't told you, okay, then give me those ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay. Thanks for coming
Okay,
in my TED Talk.
I get, oh my God, I get it. Yeah, coaching has been really helpful for me in getting out of that habit, because that's what I
Yeah.
struggle with. I'm like, I have so many ideas for you. I have so many books
Totally.
to recommend you right now. That's my downfall. Holy shit. Have you read?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
My fourth is look on the bright side. Well, at least
Hmm.
it's not. Like, and this is the corollary to it could be worse. But like, look on the bright side. At least you still da da da. Or like,
Yeah.
you lose your job. At least you had savings, right? Or at least like your spouse still has a job. Or at least da da da. At least it's not as bad as this. And it's
Yeah.
it's not exactly the first. It could be worse, but it's meant to. I think people like with really good intentions. I know they have really good intentions. Want to make you feel better. Like, you know what?
Hmm.
At least it's not da da da. But man, you gotta sit in the sadness for a little while before you can get
Hmm.
to that yourself, and, like, you actually just, like, can't skip that step. It just comes back
Yeah.
later, and that is I've always felt like the look on the bright side, it could be worse. Here's my story, and you should. All of them are discomfort with other people's discomfort. That
Yeah.
if you can't get good with somebody being in front of you in a little bit of pain and maybe a lot of pain, you're gonna say things that take away your own discomfort and then invalidate theirs, which makes theirs worse.
Mhm.
That's my take on this. So no look on the bright
Yeah.
sides. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no. Were you done?
I was gonna say that no, well, I was gonna say like I it's so uncomfortable for me to just say like what not to do. Like I really want to get into the like what should we do, but that would invalidate the Shortisode. So that'll have to be a next one. Anyway, what were you
Yeah.
gonna say?
Yeah, I think this falls, it could be worse. Look on the bright side, at least blah blah blah. Um, I agree with you. They are actually really great once you've acknowledged the reality of what's happening and you've recognized it as a substantial challenge, right? Because it gives dimensionality, gives a little bit of like a pressure release valve in the conversation. Maybe it gives you an opportunity to say something ridiculous and to like laugh for a moment, which physically and neurologically, that laughter can be, a little bit more of like a come back to balance moment, where you have a moment of like positive affect shared with the person. So I think there's a place and a time. The thing I wanted to add on top of that is fantastical thinking, hypothetical thinking, thinking about situations that are not reality is really
Mhm.
great when you're trying to imagine your way into the future or when you're trying to brainstorm how things could look differently. It's not the most useful place to go for somebody who is just like in the swamp of the reality that they're dealing with.
Yeah, agreed.
So it can be a great tool. It's not necessarily the most useful tool in this kind of a conversation, at least not at first.
Not at
At
first. This
first,
is
you have
all
to
like it's the
acknowledge the
first
reality of it.
response. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
totally. Yeah.
It's not like eventually you could get to any of these, but it's when
Mhm.
somebody shares, how do you respond? Which I think a lot of us struggle with of like, how do we
Totally.
respond to hard news? I'll
Yeah.
say, like, for instance, one thing I didn't even put on this list is when my kids say like, "Oh, I'm so bad at math," or like, "I had a really hard time," and they yell at me because I'm like, whatever. My instinct as a parent is to be like, "You're not
Yeah.
bad at math," but that's they don't they don't care what I think. I mean, they do,
Totally.
but not in that moment. What I have started to respond with is that's a really tricky feeling. I'm sorry. It stings to have that feeling.
Mhm.
Anyways, you see I'm getting into the, like, solutions, but, I have noticed that if I don't meet them in the feeling, then it just comes back around later, and then they'll start debating me. Like, "No,
Mm.
I am, da, da," and then, like, who wants to debate their kid on, like, whether they're good at math or not? Like, no, that's not
Totally. Yeah.
fun. Okay, my last one, because I know you've got a couple, is the universe has plans, or it's meant to work out this way, or there's some, like, meaning behind this, and again, these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that we separate ourselves from somebody else's discomfort because it's uncomfortable for us.
Yeah.
You want to give them meanings. Humans want to make meaning out of mess. We want to tell a story. We want to give structure. And it invalidates potentially the pain that they're in. And like again, hot take, like a lot of people feel differently about this.
Yeah.
I personally have definitely said this multiple times to myself and to other people. 100%. Fairly recently. And, like, sometimes I really do when shitty things happen, I am like, "There has got to be a reason. Like, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to take from this? Like, what
Yeah.
is the grander plan here? Because like, this sucks." And I
Yeah.
do find comfort in it, but it's only because I've become really skilled at being okay with my sadness and, like, going into my grief. Like, I've just gotten better with grief, and so I can, like, make meaning of it without taking away the feeling. That wasn't always the case, and a lot of the
Mm.
times, for me, that was just, like, a coping strategy for me, and therefore, I would do it to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your hot take on this one?
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have to. It's meant to be this way. The universe has a plan for you. God doesn't give you a challenge you can't handle.
Oh, that one,
Everything
yeah.
happens for a reason. Like these are all the same. When you get down to it, they're all the same. Which is, there is, and what they address. You're totally right. Is if life is this difficult for no reason, that's infuriating. Like,
Mhm,
that takes you out at the knees, like,
mhm.
it's coming back to discomfort. It's very difficult to live an existence with so much pain and suffering, but to not have any reason for that pain and suffering,
Right, yeah.
to not have, like, a greater good that comes out of it, and to just sit with, like, "Yeah, my life just sucks for no good reason." Um, and as an optimistic nihilist, that is what I believe. Like, there are parts of life that are really amazing. They're wonderful. And then there are parts of being a person in this world that are terrible.
Mhm.
And intellectually, objectively, from like the perspective of a scientist, we don't have any proof about there
Yeah.
actually being a grand plan or the way that like all of this pain and suffering is redeemed with some outcome in the future. It's just pain and suffering, along with the miracle of getting to be a person and have all of the experiences, pleasant and unpleasant. Um,
Yeah.
and so when somebody gives me this, my response is, "You're being intellectually lazy." Like, you are trying and you're trying to make yourself feel comfortable with about something where, like, no, this isn't comfortable, and that's as far as we can tell, that's just it. Um, where this is different is, like, okay, you're at church, and you're fully bought into a religion, and you're talking to, like, the pastor,
Yeah.
whatever head of your church is. In that context, you're clearly looking for that person to give you their perspective given your shared belief system.
Yeah.
So God doesn't have a challenge you can't handle. Okay, like, well, we both ascribe to this, and that makes a lot more sense in the context of that conversation. Um, So I think it's one to be careful about, and to understand who your audience is when you are
Yeah.
giving them some sort of like meaning making framework to help them make sense of their suffering. My inclination is to ask them how they want to make sense of their
Yeah.
challenge, their suffering, their pain, right? Because the way that I make sense of my challenges and my suffering, my pain doesn't translate to them. So
Right.
if you're actually trying to help, like ask them about it from their perspective.
Yeah. We're not saying don't make meaning. We're
Yeah,
saying because which is like the key to post traumatic growth is like you tell a new narrative of your story.
yeah,
However,
totally.
not right away,
Yeah,
but from another person. Okay, you're gonna do your bonus round. What did I miss?
yeah. Bonus round. There are two that came up for me that were first one. You should be grateful for what you have.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah.
similar to like look on the bright side, but it brings shame
You should.
that
You should.
yeah, like wow, look at you complaining about your first world problems. Like you should be grateful for blank. Um, One, again, it like dismisses the person's challenge. Anytime somebody says they're challenged with something, that is true.
Mhm.
But, like you can't you like if that is their experience of the thing, whether it would be a challenge for you or not, they are challenged by it. It is true. The challenge is there and it's real and it's as big as they think it is. So saying you should be grateful for what you have dismisses that, and then it makes them feel ashamed
Yeah.
because like it brings in the sense of like I'm not good enough, I don't belong, I'm not like I'm not enough, because were I a better person, instead of feeling challenged I would be feeling grateful. So it's like a pretty fucked up thing to say to somebody. It's going to put them it doesn't just gaslight them or diminish their challenge, it also makes them feel bad about who they are as a person. So, what's your thought on that one?
100%. However, I will also say like context matters. Like
Mhm.
if somebody is sharing that they're like had to spend a lot of money to like fix up their Porsche and you're at a fundraiser for homeless children, like I'm gonna judge you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, not now. No.
totally.
Mm,
Yeah,
not now. And like call the ambulance. What?
totally. Yeah.
However, in most cases, yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's very different from like, "Dad, my entire life growing up, you were emotionally unavailable," and dad being like, "Well, when I was your age, we couldn't put food on the table, so you should just be grateful for the fact that I provided food
Oh,
for you," you know?
ugh.
So that's the two very different conversations. Yeah, cool.
All right, let's hear
Alright,
that
and
one.
then the last one is, like, "Suck it up, don't be a little bitch."
Oh, totally. Totally. Which if you've got like if that is how y'all bond and connect and communicate, like if you are like of the trash talking ilk, go for it, baby. Like I get it. I see you.
Mm,
And also if you want to be a good friend to most people and they're not in the mood for a joke,
right.
nah,
Yeah.
find another way to respond.
Yeah, like, I would maybe use this as my first response to somebody telling me they have a problem with 2 or 3 people in the entire world, and it's because we've been friends since we were 17. The majority of the time,
True.
what comes to mind for me right away is it having that response to somebody says more about you
Yeah.
and how you judge other people than it says about them, their response to their challenge, whether they need to suck it up, whether they're being a little bitch, which I hate using that, but like that is the verbiage that
That's what
often
people
gets
say.
used. So that's what
Yeah.
people say. So it says a lot more about you and your need to not be an insensitive hard ass than it says about them and what their situation is.
Yeah. Or the like parent to child. Like I have been there before of being like, why are you crying?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
this is not a big deal. And
Totally.
and then being like, It is to them. All behavior is communication. Let me figure out what's going on.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Look, their brain doesn't work like mine because they're 6. Like, it's just chaos and emotions. They're not crying because of the thing. They're crying because they have chaos and emotions. It's, it's like they can't suck it up. They don't know how to do that.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Anyway,
Okay, our first shortisode stamped, done. Anything you want to say before we go?
heck yeah. Good job. High five.
I think this is fun.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next one, I won't almost like eat it.
Yeah. That would be great. If I don't have to call 911 on your behalf from across the country, I would appreciate that.
All right, that was fun. Till the
Okay.
next one.
It sounds good. Bye, friend.